tonight I have with me a couple, one of us, our own. So I will ask them to introduce themselves, starting from you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Pastor, for having us. My name is Chuksunduweze, one of the pastors of Foursquare Gospel Church in New Garage. And with me is my wife.
Ma'am, I would like to hear your voice.
Okay, thank you for inviting me. My name is Mercy Ndubeze.
Great. I'm sure you have encountered this book before. Maybe I'll start with you, Mama. What's your love language?
Generally, I think words of affirmation, it's most people's love language.
Okay.
But personally, I think mine is quality time.
Your primary love language is
I love
quality time.
Yes.
Interesting. Pastor Chis, what about you?
Okay, mine primarily is words of affirmation. Yes.
So today, we want to focus on words of affirmation. Essentially, if you remember last week, we introduced the 5 love languages during the Bible study. And we said they comprise words of affirmation, quality time, giving of gifts, amen.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Physical touch.
That's right. So today we want to really deepen on how to communicate love using words that build up. Maybe, Pastor Chus, what are the various ways you can communicate communicate love using words?
Okay, when you talk about words of affirmation, you are simply talking about words that affirm, especially the strength of the other party you are communicating with. Be your spouse or colleagues in the office or customers in the business place or whoever you are dealing with. So this is primarily talking about the way you use words to affirm them, to appreciate them, to, encourage. So one of the things the author of the book said is that love has dialects.
All right.
Like we have the tribe dialects in Nigeria, the Igbo, the Hausa. So love has dialects. So when you talk about words of affirmation, there are 4 basic dialects that the author talked about.
Okay.
And one is words of appreciation. And the second one is words of encouragement. Then kind words, and then humble words.
Okay. Mama, maybe you should give us examples of these words of, appreciation.
Okay.
And then Pastor Chus will tell us about encouraging words.
Okay, words of appreciation are things like, you look good. Okay. Or thank you. I appreciate. Words of appreciation are just, maybe somebody has done something and you want to commend the person. So you appreciate the person. And, it's not just limited to the family alone.
Okay.
It can also be used in the business sphere.
All right.
Yeah. Meeting people, talking with people, you can use words of appreciation to build relationships. So when you say thank you, when you say you look good, these are all words of appreciation.
All right. Pastor Chus, can you add a bit more to that?
Yes. I want to say that we are saying words of affirmation, but I want to say that these words of affirmation, as simple as they sound, are very difficult in implementation, which is also why we are sharing it, because we want you to begin to apply it.
Okay.
Now, Jesus had a service with about 10 people, lepers. 9 of them got healed. 10 of them got healed, actually. Yes. And then 9 left, and only 1 came back to say thank you to Jesus.
All right.
Now, the greatest desire one of the greatest desires of every man is the desire to be appreciated. It's a very strong desire in men. So, when we appreciate people, we are expressing that desire.
Okay.
So what we notice is that there are people that, you render good service to, or you show kindness to, or you do one thing or the other to, but they never care to say thank you.
All right.
And there is something that is called emotional tank. Emotional tank, just like your bank account.
Okay.
Right? Emotionally, the way a man feels can influence how he acts. So if a man's emotional tank is full, that man can go extra mile. For instance, somebody has done something good for you and say, I'm really grateful that you gave me a book to read. That book you gave me to read has changed my life. that man next time will not only give you a book, he may give you a library.
Wow. Okay. So what about encouraging words, Mama?
Encouraging words are words that stir people. When you see people that are down, when you see people that are not too strong, when you see people that are not really doing well, there are words that you can use to encourage. There are words you can use to
lift
stir
them up.
Yes, to lift them up, to stir them, to build them up. Someone who thinks that he or she has lost hope, there are words that you can use. And once you say those words, the person stirs up, and the person, gets to action, puts himself or herself to action.
It's okay.
You see someone who is maybe a teenager, who is not doing well in school, or a child who is not doing well in school. Instead of you shouting at the child, instead of you, there are words that you can use to bring people down. But instead of you using those words, you use encouraging words. Lift that person, and by the time you do that, the truth is that a child that is not doing well today can do better tomorrow.
All right. So because somebody may fail an exam, but the person is actually a hardworking person,
Yes.
so you can recognize
Maybe
the
something
aspect,
happens along the line.
Yes, you can recognize the aspect that the person is saying, but you are hardworking.
Yes.
I like the way you are respectful. It just requires you to take a little bit of time. Let's look at the
Putting
area
more
that,
effort.
okay. So you can now point the person to something the person can do to still, overcome that challenge.
Yes, and let the person know you can do better next time.
All right.
Let me add, for couples, for instance, the way our economy is right now, I want to appeal to our women to use more encouraging words towards their husbands.
Okay.
Because encouraging words are words that build up, that stir up courage. Everybody has what he fears, but it's encouraging words that will help you to overcome those fears. Yeah. So when your husband is not struggling, it also applies to the woman also, but let me use the husband. When your husband is not doing too well, but the man is trying, instead of saying, all your mates are doing this, all your mates, haven't you seen
That's
this person's? Say, Daddy, you are trying very hard. We know that things are hard in this country, but, God will help you.
I'm praying for you.
Yes, I'm praying for you. The way you are trying, I'm sure that very soon we'll overcome this.
Things will click.
Those are things that can stir up the man to go further. But when you use words that tear him down, he will give up.
In fact, I remember a young man who did say something about the person he married. He said he married the lady because when he was down, he had no job, he had nothing. It was the lady that was coming and speaking to him and telling him, don't worry, even though you've not found a job, be strong, a job will soon be on the way. And you will soon learn something that is going to really help you. And the lady kept speaking to him. In fact, took his CV and helped him to start applying and all that and all that. So encouraging words is not just only for couples, but even those who are single as well.
Sure.
Mama, you want to add something on that? Because one of the things I want to ask is that, what about tone? We have talked about appreciating people. We have talked about using encouraging words to lift people. So you appreciate somebody for something good the person has done. Like, thank you. I'm happy because you have been with me all through this period. What about tone? The tone of voice. Does it matter?
Yes, this matters a lot because the use of wrong tone can send a wrong signal. Yeah. Now, you can say one thing in two different ways with different tones. For instance, I remember that where I was living before, one of the tenants had a problem with another tenant.
Okay.
He was accusing the man now was accusing the other lady tenant that she doesn't used to greet her. But the lady said, how can you say I don't greet you? Each time I pass and see you, I say, Daddy, so person, good morning. The man say, there's a way to say good morning. It's not. This one you just ask, no, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. He said, that's not how to say good. If you want to say good morning, bring your tone down and say, good morning, sir.
You okay?
So tone matters. And that's what you call, one of the dialects of words of affirmation is kind words.
Kind words.
Kind words. Okay. Kind words goes with tones. Look, kind words is like saying, I appreciate the way you have been taken care of. If you have a couple now, you can use kind words for your wife. I appreciate the way you have been taking care of these children.
All right.
I'm so happy that you are doing this. if you are not here, I'm sure I can't do this.
Okay.
And your tone is communicating that. You know, you can't be saying one thing and your facial expression and your tone is saying a different thing.
And your body language.
And your
also.
body language. That's hypocrisy, really.
Okay.
So when you are using kind words, it has to reflect in your tone, your voice. Now, it's the same thing that applies to when people do something nice to you, right? Use kind words, which reflects in your tone.
Okay.
Not that you are shouting, hey! No. You are using words that person looks at you, the person knows that this thing is coming from your heart. Yeah, so that's what I want to say about that.
Yeah, so I'm now beginning to think about, all these things we're saying, they look easy. But in reality, people struggle. This is one area that people struggle. Not just in marriage, even in the office, even with children, parents. So my question, Mama, why do people struggle with words of affirmation?